What's up, YouTube? Erbwars here, back with another video, and it's Father's Day. Yes, it's Father's Day, and it's time for me to actually speak for one of the first times that I could ever recall on this channel about my dad, because I don't speak about my dad a lot, mainly because my dad wasn't a gamer. My dad wasn't a gamer at all, as a matter of fact. He was, when I was born, my dad was 42 years old, and he was a blue-collar man. He was a plumber, which is funny because I'm a plumber too, as a lot of you know, but he didn't really understand or mess with technology at all. In fact, I remember in the early 90s, our very first computer was a Gateway, and when my brother and mom set it up, my dad had no idea even what it was or how to use it or anything like that. He was very uneducated when it came to technology, and he had really no interest in video games. He had no interest in future, like Star Wars and anything like that my brother and I were really into. He didn't really show any interest in stuff like that. You know, those guys back in the day, their entertainment was buying new tools or going to the bar. Like, they didn't have, it's hard, it was a different era. So like, he didn't have any of the passions that my brother and I had. You know, when it came to Star Wars and video games and, you know, comic books and all that, we didn't have that similarities with my dad. My dad was into, you know, hot rods and, you know, tools and stuff like that. So that's why you never really hear me mention him a lot on this channel, because we don't have a lot of memory. I didn't have a lot of memories like that of him involving video games. Now, I had a lot of great memories, and I was very thankful to have the father that I did have, you know, when he was alive. But as far as video games and stuff, we didn't have many memories, but we did have a couple. And I thought, because it's Father's Day, I thought it would be maybe pretty fun to share those stories with you. The first story that I have was when my brother bought a PlayStation. For some reason, and I don't know why, instead of hooking up to our bedroom TV, it was hooked up to the living room TV. And I think it's because the TV was much bigger in the living room and the picture quality was better. So there was a summer when he was working at the ferry. It was his, like, not his first job, but it was like one of his first serious jobs. And I think I was like around, I don't know, maybe 11 or 12. So I was working for my dad, but not like a real job because I was too young. But I remember the whole summer, my brother was working every day. And he just got Metal Gear Solid, was one of the games that he got. And he was playing it, and I was watching him like a hawk. And I really wanted to start my own file. And my brother, being an older brother, you know, and the competition and whatever, I had to go buy a memory card. I wasn't allowed to use his memory card. So I remember watching him like a hawk and realizing, I think I watched him do up to Ocelot Revolver, and like, I watched him do a lot of the game. My dad went and bought me a new memory card so that I could have my own save file. And he watched me that summer beat Metal Gear. And in fact, I beat Metal Gear before my brother because he was working and I was home from school. So of course I was going to beat the game before him. And I remember my dad watching me for a majority of that playthrough, and, you know, was kind of cheering me on. And then another time, I remember him really liking us playing Gran Turismo. My brother and I were going for different licenses, and we were racing different cars, and he thought, you know, you got to remember, it was 1997, and it was the PlayStation, but the graphics back then on Gran Turismo, we didn't think they were going to get any better. So you got to take that into consideration in the time frame of the story that I'm talking about. But I remember him really, you know, really enjoying that game and watching my brother and I play that. But there was only one time in my life that I was actually able to get my dad to play a game with me. And that game, it was on Christmas morning. I can't remember if I was a sophomore. No, I wouldn't have been a sophomore. I must have either been a junior. I don't think I was a senior, but I think I was a junior. I could have been a freshman. I don't know, my memory's bogged out, but it was Crimson Skies for the Xbox. Now, history on him is he also really was into history and airplanes and stuff like that. So when he saw the game and I opened it and I showed him like the box art and stuff, He's like, oh, that's pretty cool. You get to shoot planes and stuff. And I was like, yeah, actually, do you want to play? And he immediately shot me down. He said, no, I don't want to play. And then I set it up, and I kept saying to him, hey, you should come play. And I asked my brother to come play. And then somehow my brother convinced him to come play the game with me. But my brother pulled me aside, and he said, you know that if you want him to play, you're going to have to let him win, or he's just going to quit. And you're not going to be able to play any rounds with him. And I was like, yeah, you're right. So Mike told me, he said, just let him win the first round and then beat his ass after that. So Christmas morning, I ended up playing one round with my dad, and his airplane was just doing just barrel rolling and shooting. And so like I literally had to fly my plane in front of him just so he could even get on me to shoot me and kill me. And I pretended that, you know, he beat me. And then we played another round and I beat him, and it was immediately over. But it was pretty funny. And I know it sounds like a stupid, lame story, but that's why Crimson Skies means so much to me on the original Xbox. And for somebody like me, who's a huge gamer, who's a huge collector, video game enthusiast, all of that, for that being that my dad wasn't into video games at all, that's why that game means so much to me. And I know it sounds like a lame story because probably a lot of you got to experience gaming with your dad. I just never really did. So that just brings me, and it holds memories to me. Now, my kids can never say the same because my kids and I play video games together all the time, still to this day. I mean, my oldest son, Eddie, learned how to read by playing Pokemon X and Y. Charlie, I mean, he learned how to read. We were playing Skylanders when they were born. And, you know, actually, we played Skylanders not that long ago. We played Mario Kart, Smash Brothers, Fortnite. I try to play Pixelmon with them. Anything that they're into, I play. And it's just such a fun experience. But reversing back to my dad, the only experience I ever had with him was playing Crimson Skies. And it's such a cool game. And I really recommend it to anybody who owns an original Xbox. But now that I spoke and I talked about Father's Day, I want to hear from you. Have any of you guys played video games with your dad? And if so, what game was your favorite? Comment below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Erbwars out.